And good morning. This is Coach Toyin speaking. How are you today? Hope you had a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining my live show. Today I'm covering Solomon's Paradox. Have you ever heard about it before? It's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to connect it to entrepreneurship, personal development, creativity, impact, transformation. Okay. So thank you for being here. If you're joining, let me know where you're joining from. Professor Mbele, I see you on Instagram. Thank you for joining. And those joining on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Clubhouse, I see you all. Thank you so much. Let me know where you're joining from. Feel free to introduce yourself as well. I always like my sessions to be engaging. Okay, so we're diving into Solomon's Paradox. For those who may not be familiar with my work, I'm a trainer, I'm an executive, I'm a trainer. I also work in the world of international business development. So I'm the author of Mindset of an Entrepreneur, Strategy, Skills, and Mindset for Achieving Business Growth and Success. And my book is available on Amazon. Just go ahead and Google or search for my name and the book title Mindset of an Entrepreneur. My academy is also toyinumesiri.academy. So if you want to grow your influence, your power, and your wealth, and you want to join my academy today, okay? So let's get right into it. Solomon's paradox is quite fascinating because it goes to this understanding that you all know Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived, right? This is about wisdom, right? He had a lot of wisdom, like is you know that story. But the paradox is covering this aspect that in his own personal life, right? If you explore his own life, there were things that weren't that didn't make sense, that was unwise. His choice, there were certain choices he made that weren't wise, that wasn't wise, pardon me, right? In his own personal lives, in terms of number of concubines, numbers of wives, his family dynamics. There were so many things he could have used his wisdom to apply. So this is just calling us to awareness that no matter how smart or wise you are, there are blind spots, right? And also, I connected this to several spiritual concepts in the Bible, which I'm going to share today for those who are spiritually oriented, right? Is that it made me remember this verse that talks about um, you're trying to remove the speck in somebody else's eyes, and yet you have a log in your eye. Is this perspective that personal development, right? What's going on in your own personal space is important, right? And this is where personal development, coaching, advisory team, mentorship, this is the whole point of all of this. Because what I found is that when people say they don't need any help, if you take a closer look, they are really living a small life. And what I mean by a small life is it's me, myself, and I, and nobody else. That's a small life where, whatever you're doing is all about you. Like you're not impacting your world, you're not impacting your community, right? Because for you to actually do so much more, for you to achieve success, to grow your influence, to grow your power, to grow your wealth in the world, listen, you're going to need so much knowledge, wisdom, help. So you're going to need so much, right? And those who do not need anything is because they are living small lives. Okay? And there's only so far what you know currently will take you. Like, if you haven't arrived at this conclusion, if you haven't arrived at this awareness of the power of knowledge, capacity, personal development, wisdom, advisory team, like, if you haven't by now realized that there is only so far that you can get with who you are today and what you know today and the skills you have. Because until people wake up to the reality that you need more knowledge, you need more skills, you need more impact, you need more support, you need more advice, you need more coaching, listen, we need, until you wake up that the things you want to do in the world and the impact you want to make, the business you want to build, whatever that vision is, until you realize that there are certain capacities you do not currently have to do those things, that you actually need to go in search of building the system, developing the strategies, building the skills, developing the skills, acquiring the knowledge that will help you do everything you want to do. And what you now find in the world, generally speaking, are people who have full-time jobs of seeing what's wrong with the world, but they don't see what's wrong with themselves. They know what's wrong with the government. They know what everybody in the world is doing wrong. Yet, in their own, they can't. This stuff, you can't make it up. They can't see themselves. They can't see their own failure. They can't see how they are the ones in the, like, stopping themselves. They can't see this. This is where personal development will help you see and quickly address those things. Like, you're supposed to pour all your attention, all your focus on you. On you. You are the only one that matters to your journey, to your life. Start there. But guess what? Most of the world will sit down, they'll read newspaper. Oh, today the mayor said this. Oh, today the president said this. Oh, full-time job. They're seeing everything. They see the world. You see everything. They are aware of the world except their own inner world. What's going on within you? Your relationship issues, right? Your emotional stuff, mindset stuff, limiting. Listen, there's a long list of stuff. This is one of the more interesting things in the world, that those who complain the most, they actually do this work the least. Because the moment you realize that you are the one at the center of all of the, you know why you keep quiet. You will not talk anymore. You know why? You know it's all on you. You know it's you that you are really the one. Just like the Bible verse talks about, you're trying to remove a small matter. You can see who is saying what in church, who is not saying what. You know the uncle, brother, sister, you know all the issues that everybody else has, but you don't know your own issues. You're not owning it. It's this stuff, right? It's so powerful. And when you say attend class, take a course, the game plan 1, the game plan 2, look at the mirror. Anything you want to achieve is possible for you if you discipline yourself, if you get the skills, if you build the relationship, if you do what you need to do, you can attain everything you want. But when you don't do this work, guess what happens? They want to outsource it to the government. They want to outsource it to their employer. They want to say it's the boss. It's the boss that didn't promote. It's the boss that didn't give this. It's the employer that didn't do that. He did. Meanwhile, in the same department, some people are doing what they need to do. So this is so powerful. This is so important until people really realize that, listen, what's most important is not what's happening out there yet. What's happening in here, within you, is actually how you're going to experience the world. The quality of life, right? The quality of how you're going to experience the world is going to be what's happening in your mind, in your heart. Your peace is there, your joy is there, your wealth is in your ideas, your businesses are in your ideas. Everything you want to enjoy is within you. Unleashing that personal development is developing yourself to become the person that can attain everything you want to attain. Personal development is disrupting yourself, your own thinking patterns, your own habits, everything that who you've become that is in conflict with who you need to be, that is not aligned with the authentic version of you, the most powerful version of you, the most influential version of you, the greatest version of you, the wealthiest version of you, the happiest version of you, who you are today versus that person. Closing that gap is personal development. But here's the key. Most people have not even acknowledged they need help. They've not even they're still sleeping to themselves, but they are awake. They are fully woke. You know, the woke, they are woke. Listen, guys, excuse me. This stuff is so serious, but I would laugh because, that's the only way to really share and talk about these things. We have to apply some comedy. Is that the woke culture? You are woke to everybody else except you. Hmm. You know who is doing what. You are reading all the headlines. You know which celebrity did what, didn't do what they ate for breakfast. You know what, everything happening in the world except for your own internal universe. And the people you are talking about and you are woke about, they are living their lives 100%. They are living the life of their own dreams. You are watching the movie, you're going on social media, you're watching people show you their own life. But what's most important to you is we need to be busy every single day. Like, listen, you need to be your full-time job needs to be you. Anyway. Okay, Solomon's paradox also made me remember that, I wrote a lot of stuff here, but it's that the smarter you are, or the smarter you think you are, the more you need to understand you have blind spots. Right? This is where advisory teams come in, mentors come in, coaches come in, right? But when you think this is the danger of the day, when you feel you are so smart, you need nothing else. That is, listen, pride goes before the fall. You are on the edge. If you've not yet fallen, you are on the edge. David in the Bible, this man that loved God so much, he had time enough to concoct a plot that was completely against who he said he was. Like, I'm just wondering, between the time he concorded, like this stuff came up in his heart, and the execution, the man's wife, this what, how many months did it take, or how many weeks did it take for the scheme to mature? And within that period, there was nobody willing to confront him until God had to send a prophet to come and tell him a story. And even the prophet had to be wise. So this man was so powerful. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, no matter how smart you think you are, if you don't open yourself up for advice, perspective, if you don't look in the mirror, Bible talks about, let he who think he stands, take heed lest he fall. Right? The daily, it's like, if you don't look at the mirror every day, we look at the mirror every day, even multiple times every day. Let's say you looked at the mirror last week, and for the past 1 week, you said, I don't need the mirror anymore. And your life, it starts deviating from normal. You know why? The mirror makes sure that it's not just yesterday's look, it's every day. If you brushed your teeth last week and you didn't brush it again, if you brushed it yesterday and you didn't brush it today, can you imagine? This is where personal development is a daily practice. If you did a course last week and you say, oh, I'm good, listen, be careful, because every single day you might be deviating away from the core. Right? This is the full-time job we have, to keep improving. Now, I was talking to my son today. I said, listen, forever, let's become a student of life. The day you think you don't need anything anymore, you've arrived, or you are striving for perfection, and now that you're not perfect, you're like beating yourself down. Just realize, in this world you came to learn. That's where humility lives. Realizing that, listen, somebody taught you how to eat your food, somebody taught you how to drive a car, somebody taught you ABCD, somebody taught you A for apple, somebody taught you something, everything you know right now. Somebody wrote a book, listen, the news you are watching, somebody is there. If people will realize that we are a student, we came here to study, learn, and apply. Study, learn, apply. Study, learn, apply. That's it. But if you keep applying, you might be applying old, obsolete knowledge. You may be applying old knowledge, incomplete knowledge, right? And that's why you're not seeing what you ought to be seeing. So if you don't refresh every day, I always joke that every day you're supposed to shower, brush your teeth, eat food physically. Your spiritual and mindset as well need to be nurtured, to be cleansed, because something negative is trying to attach itself to you. Right? You know why? Every single day there's negative stuff. You're scrolling, you're seeing things you shouldn't see, you're hearing things you shouldn't hear. If you don't have a daily practice to cleanse, to learn, to unlearn, to relearn, it's a daily practice. To remove the viruses from your program, right? I say with the mind, you experience the world. And with your words and actions, the world experiences you. If you don't take a moment to evaluate your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own actions, and score yourself or assess yourself and orient yourself again every day, then you're not improving. You find yourself repeating the same patterns. You're the same person you were 5 years ago. You are the same person you were 10 years ago. You've not grown. You've not expanded, right? There's physical growth, but trust me, there's emotional growth, there's mental growth, there's spiritual growth that many people ignore. They don't invest in it. And so they arrive at a certain age and the mind has not been developed past a certain age. What do I mean by that? It's about consciousness, awareness, perception. How do you see reality? How do you see the world? How do you see yourself? Because again, it is easier for you to see what's wrong with everybody, even your spouse. It's easier for you to say he is the problem, she is the problem. It's easier to listen, guys. The easiest thing you can do is seeing everybody else except you. Right? What they said, you made me do this, you made me do that. They are the problem. That's the easy stuff. That right there is the easy stuff. Until you flip the mirror, instead of putting it at people, look and say, oh, hey, you've got to fix that. Your communication skills, this thinking pattern, negativity. Listen, once you can list those things, you realize the full-time job you actually have is to fix yourself, is to work on you, is to work on yourself. Yeah, the most important assignment you can ever give yourself, whether it is exercising, nourishment, the most powerful thing to power your life is what you do on yourself. On me. I matter most on this journey. My thinking, emotion, spiritual, physical, that's all that matters, and that's all you have the capacity to influence. You cannot change anybody. You cannot change the government. You don't have the power, influence, or capacity to change even your spouse. You can't. Try. I'm sure if you're married, you've been trying, right? Do you know what it gives back to? Frustration, stress. That's where stress lives. Your attempt to change things you cannot change. Your attempt to control things you cannot control. Your attempt to fix things you cannot fix. You don't have the capacity to fix. That right there, or the things you don't have skills for, or you don't have knowledge for, you don't have capacity. That is where stress, frustration, hopelessness, it lives in that domain. Right? It lives in that domain of control, controlling things you cannot control, and giving up. Hopelessness is realizing, it's not going to change. You are right. But the moment you can switch, if you can switch from that to you, that's it. That's where peace lives in. Peace rests in a man or a woman that knows and focuses on improving themselves every single day. That's where joy lives. That's where fulfillment lives. because all of a sudden you are only in competition with the past version of you, the older version of you, right? The version of you today, you see it's an improved version, it's a more capable version, it's a more enlightened version, it's a more highly skilled, more knowledgeable, more wise, more impactful version of you. So guess what? You wake up in the morning happier with yourself because you feel you've grown, you've expanded. And guess what? Where this lies, you can now do more for yourself and the world around you. You will now feel more complete and more empowered to solve your own personal problems and even solve other people's problems. The same problems you are seeing that you're complaining about, when you go through personal development, you will be empowered. You'll be able to contribute to your society more. You can now offer them more of you because you now have more to share with the world. But you cannot share with the world what you've not given or deposited in your own life. So you find you'll be complaining, oh, the teenagers, oh, this, they don't do the. But if you've worked on you, you'll be more empathetic, you'll be more patient, you'll be more kind, you'll be more generous because you've seen your own flaws. And you're kinder and generous to yourself. Out of that, you can now offer generosity to others. You can offer understanding to other people. But here's the key. Those who do not understand themselves, they cannot understand anybody else. This is where judgment comes in. Judgment is all they have. Why? Because they've not offered themselves deep love, respect, understanding. So guess what? They have it none. They have none of it to give anybody else. So toxicity is what they dish out. You know where it comes from? The toxic stuff comes from their hearts. Yes, they are living with it. They are dining with it. They have abundance of it in their heart. So guess what? They are giving it to everybody they encounter. Their words are toxic. Their actions destructive. And they are dishing it out. You can see social media. You can listen. This stuff I'm telling you, you can see it everywhere. You can see it. So I'm going to start wrapping up now because listen, if you have any questions, let me know. Even after this video processes, team replay, feel free to drop your comment, like, share, subscribe, follow, and check out toyinyumesiwi.academy. If you want to grow your influence, you want to learn how to grow your influence, your power, and wealth, that's where my school comes in. It's designed for entrepreneurs. It's designed for you to adopt the Wealth Builders mindset to achieve business growth and success. The roadmap to business growth and success designed there. My 10-week accelerator is your fastest route to learning how to build, grow, and scale your business faster. I use the word faster because, listen, you can go the next 10 years trying to figure it out. Right? But if you need help learning, right? Acquiring knowledge, developing skills, understanding strategies, building systems that will help you accelerate your journey to business growth and success, then head over to toyinyumesiwi.academy and enroll in the 10-week business growth accelerator. That's what that is about. So I'm wrapping up. I see Sanket from India. Thank you, everyone, joining. I know when I come out here, I just drop a whole lot of good stuff, right? So this is about personal responsibility. Okay, is the willingness to fix you. When you fix you, you will enjoy life more. You'll be more patient with other people. You'll be kinder. You'll be more generous. And when you don't fix you, you are upset with yourself and the whole world will piss you off. Anything I'm saying sounds familiar to you. But if we all will just make a full-time job of every single day, let me brush my teeth, let me clean, let me shower, soap, right? Is that do that to your mind. Every day now, when you're brushing your teeth, watch your thinking pattern. When you wake up and you're in front of the mirror, as you're seeing your physical body, try and see your mindset as well. Check in with your mind. How do you feel? Check in with your emotion. How do you feel this morning? What's going on within you? Right? Are you cranky? Are you, do you need some tweaking? It's like the car. When you start hearing some sound in your car, you go Oh, it's time for tune up. I'm saying listen to your car, to the vehicle of your life. Wah, wah. You know, when you start snapping at people and you start scratching people in your life, it's the time to go. Listen, what's happening right now? Why am I unhappy? Who did what? What do I need to do to bring my these are practical things, don't you think? Okay. Anyway, ultimately, those who do this work will drive greater impact in the world. They'll be more useful in God's hands. You know, even in the Bible, you see that God encountered the people God would use. He has to encounter them first. He has to deal with, like, Abraham, what's your name? Or no, Jacob, what's your name? You know, Paul, Saul. They are just some. For those of us who are Christians, right? When we read the Bible, listen, God will deal with your stuff. Or let me rephrase it. God wants you to deal with your stuff. When you deal with your stuff, you can be more useful. You can be more generous. You can be more kind. You can be more helpful. You can be more considerate. You can serve more. And it's not like we're perfect, but I'm just saying more, more, more. You can do this work more. And when you don't do this work, listen, you become a complainer. You complain. You just feel I'm giving you clues to know what's going on. If you're that person that you're like, my spouse, you're feeling, listen, you've outgrown your mind. It is you, right? It's the caterpillar trying to become a butterfly. You need transformation. It is you grumbling like, we need to think better. We need to feel better. Something is off. You are less than you ought to be. You can tell. Listen, here are some practical tools. A lot of times, people wake up at a certain age and look at their life and say, this marriage, let me exit. This job, let me exit. That's not, it's still trying to fix all these things externally. I'm not saying you should not make your decisions. I'm just giving you extra tools. Maybe try this first. Enroll in some classes, the game plan, take those things first. Maybe it will awaken you to new options, because here's what people need to know. If the only option you think you have is to get rid of all the things that you're it's like, remember there was a time when people said if Donald Trump becomes president, they will move to Canada. Do you remember that? That if the only solution to whatever it is you cannot control is you damaging yourself or uprooting yourself or destabilizing yourself unnecessarily, listen, it's because you've not expanded your consciousness to know that there are maybe 5 options. You don't even know that maybe when he is the president is when you will make more money. is when you will become more successful. You don't know. You don't know. So when people are trying to prefer simple solutions to complex issues, no. Life is actually will give you, X plus Y. Remember in school, X plus Y, life is about solving your own equation. And they are simple arithmetic equations, 1 plus 1, 2, right? There are complex ones, algebra, like, listen, like I have a BSc in mathematics. Listen, there are more complex equations in life. And when life starts giving you some interesting dynamic stuff, that's what I'm trying to say. How are you going to solve it? Do you also want to just solve it simply like, I will move, I quit? You want to quit the job, quit the family, quit the marriage, quit the relationship, quit, and then you quit everything. And then what? You're still left with yourself. The same version of you that refused to expand, to explore your own internal universe. You are still left with that version. And still, so you realize that you're still left with the one thing that we ought to have shifted in the first place. Okay? So yeah, check out Solomon's paradox. This stuff is so important, right? The more you want to do, the more you're going to need. It should be a no-brainer. And the less you want to do, the less you're going to need. This is why many people are not pursuing classes, courses, programs, advisory team, coaching, mentorship. They're not actively running after those things. Like run after it as if your life depends on it. Because you know what? The future life that you're supposed to be enjoying will need you to chase it. Like your future needs you to run after it, to prioritize it, to invest in it. Like, listen, and when you're ready to do that, and I hope you say yes to yourself today, join us at toyinumesiri.academy. My first name, last name .academy. It's the school and community for those who want to achieve business growth and success. It's about mindsets, right? It's about skills. It's about knowledge. It's about strategies. It's about building systems that will support the life that we want, right? It's about growing your influence, your power, and your wealth. And to do that, you need more knowledge, not less. You need more relationships, not less. You need more skills, not less. You need more strategies, not less. You need more systems, not less. So until people wake up to the reality that even Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived, he had blind spots in his own personal space. And that's where the Solomon's paradox comes in. It's a check on us. It's for us to check ourselves to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can be so smart in seeing the world and seeing all the problems. Oh, and analyzing what Biden could have done, analyzing what the mayors needed to have done, analyzing what your spouse needed to have done, analyzing other people's problems, your church members, your community members, saying, oh, this person didn't do this well, that person didn't do, and you'll be feeling smart. You'll be feeling like, I know a lot. But do you know a lot about you? What's going on within you? Disrupting yourself is the only way to live a better life. And trust me, once you focus on you, you will not actually have any time to focus on anybody else. You just live your life. Your life is your own problem. Do you? It doesn't matter to me. Whatever choices you are making, it's on you. It's not like you start realizing that, oh, wait a minute. All these them do not even matter. I'm the one giving them power by making them occupy space in my heart and mind. They don't matter. The only thing that matters to your future is you. And other people helping you become better. That's all that matters. Every other thing, this, that, they don't matter. Except in extreme cases when we talk about being aware about like inflation, just market conditions. But it's not about you making a full-time job, assessing and analyzing. Know enough about external things that will affect you and leave the things that do not matter. And the one thing that matters 100% is how we think, what we know, the skills we have, our spirit, the knowledge we know about ourselves, the true version of us, right? How we, Bible talks about self-control, right? Bible doesn't talk about other control, because the moment you start trying to control again, that's where pain and suffering and stress is like, you're trying to control your relationship, your spouse, right? You will feel that burn on you because you actually don't have any control. The one thing you have control over is your own response, your own mind, your own thinking, your own skills, and dealing with all of those things. The game plan 1 and the game plan 2. These are mindset coaching programs in my school. I use it to support those who want to, achieve more success, unleash the most successful version of you. And you start realizing that, wow, okay, I'm powerful. I can grow my influence. I can go out there and get what I need. Oh, yes, my communication can be better. Oh, yes, I can give myself freedom. I can live a free life. Oh, I can listen, I don't have to give any people control over me, over my mind. Oh, I'm the one doing this to myself anyway. Oh, I can live in peace. Oh, I can live in joy. Oh, I can create a joyful, meaningful environment for myself, for my employers, on and on. Oh, then you will realize your power, your influence. And that once you do this work, you will start attracting more of what you want. Then you start attracting more of what you want and less of what you don't want. But if right now you're attracting, you can see The relationship, the things you're attracting, you're not attracting what you want, right? But you're attracting what you don't want. You'll need to disrupt yourself. So head over, take my program, Game Plan 1, Game Plan 2, and then for Business Growth and Success, the 10-week accelerator. You can access that at toyinumesivi.academy. I invite you to join us and go on this journey to business growth and success. That's it. It's a wrap, guys. Bye for now.